Hi everyone, welcome to my video previewing day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival 2023. Today we saw some incredible highs for racing fans, and I think when you see races like Constitution Hills and also Honeysuckles, you have to try and push the sport forward. Everyone wants to knock racing, and I think racing needs to do a better job of showcasing things like Constitution Hills. Just stunning performance today, and the story of Honeysuckle winning again at Cheltenham. I was never for Honeysuckle going to the Mares, so I've been proved very wrong, and I'm happy to eat my words and humble pie on the subject. I was her biggest fan. I didn't think she should go to the Mares. I thought she should defend her crown. She wouldn't have beaten Constitution Hill. I think she may have finished third, but it's the fairy tale ending to her career, which was a very special career. I think we're at the start of a very special career for Constitution Hill. Betting wise, it was an absolutely abject day for me. Cheltenham is a marathon, not a sprint, and I've been in worse positions, but I'm absolutely appalled to have put up a bet like Takao on my videos. It's one of the worst bets I've ever put up. He jumped appalling. He was lit up before the race, but to back an 11-4 shot, which is run so poorly, is really disappointing. Tamura's just wasn't good enough, and another really poor selection. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Goodland's price collapsed after Marine Nationale won today, and that's because Barry Connell has talked up both his horses and said that he thought they would both win. A lot of people will be on the double, and it could come off. There's a very big chance that bookies will have big liabilities because Connell is a bit of a Panther's friend. He said both horses would win. Lots of people would have backed him singly and doubly, and he looks to have a very good chance. It would be hard to fancy Hermes Allen after the performance of Tamures, who'd won a Grade 1 in Britain and was beaten by 8. The first 8 being Irish in the Supreme, and he wasn't even 8th. So, 9th, sorry. So, yeah, looking at the race, you only have to sort of concentrate on the Irish runners. Can Goodland win again after his win at the Dublin Racing Festival? I said after that race his jumping was impeccable. It'll keep him in any race. He didn't make even a semblance of a mistake. Impere Pass is slightly hype horse, really. He was 7-2 before the previous circuit started, and now all of a sudden he's 7-4. I think after watching today's race, I'd have to favour Goodland rather than Impere Pass at the prices. In the Brown Advisory, my nap of the festival was always due to be Jerry Colombe. I didn't think Sir Gerard would go here. I don't really fancy Sir Gerard here either. I'm disappointed to see Ramillies in this race, and there seems to be no money for him at the moment. I think I would have to stick with Jerry Colombe, but the price is very short, and I wouldn't be steaming into him by any stretch of the imagination. The Coral Cup's very interesting. I was on a preview night where I put up the Very Mon at 33-1 as my sort of bet for the festival, because I wanted to put up something that was a decent price. I didn't want to go on there and say 6-4 shot to win. He's got a good chance for Jesse Harrington, but it's a really tough race, and you could fancy many horses. An epic story for Martin Brazil, who was just touched off in the Ultima, will have a chance. I liked Beacon Edge before everybody else jumped on the bandwagon. I never really got the 20-1 on him, and at 14-1 he's maybe just a little bit skinny. The other horse I looked at in the race was Good Risk at All. The Champion Chase isn't really a betting heat for me because the principles in the market are very short. I would, if pinned down, go for Edward Stone over an Ergamine. I think both horses will reverse form with Editeur Jujit in this race from last time out. And I just fancy that Edward Stone might just have the better turn of foot up the hill. The cross country's not a race that I'm totally in love with. I think if someone asked me about this race, I'd probably go with Delta Work. But quite often this race is won by the horse who's been heavily barked out the Elliott yard, and that would point you towards Galvin. So if the ground does dry up a little bit more, then perhaps Galvin's the one to be on at a slightly better price than the favourite. It's not a race where I would envisage too many outsiders getting involved, so I would have it between the front three. With thinking myself, I would probably go with Delta Work if it was still soft, and if it does dry up, probably Galvin. The Grand Annual is a minefield, but I have been watching Gavin Cromwell's horses a lot this season. I do feel Final Orders will give you a run for your money. Cromwell doesn't take horses to the festival just for the British air. He does well at the festival. He's 5 from 24, but they're all the hurdlers. He hasn't won any chases at the Cheltenham Festival yet, but this horse was entered in the Arkle and should run a good race. It's just he's only, I think, 13 to 2, and that would be slightly off-putting. The prices are very squeezed, and there isn't a lot of value in the Grand Annual market that I can see. Last year's winner, Global Citizen, for Ben Pauline would have a chance as well, but it's probably not a race I'll be investing in on my bet sequence, although after today's two bets, I'm not sure anyone will be following them any further. And I think at £70 down, that might be a good place to stick after the two runners I've had today. Finally, the bumper. I was really impressed with a Dream to Share at Dublin Racing Festival. If it looks like the ground might just dry out a little bit more, I would be with him. All season, I've liked Chapeau de Soleil for this race, but he's out to 20 to 1 in the exchanges now, so there's no real confidence behind him at all, which is really disappointing. I thought he would improve greatly for his debut, but there's no money for him. Fact to File was heavily backed in the last few days, but that money will probably dry up if the ground seems to firm up a little bit tomorrow. A lot of people backed him on the proviso that it would be a pretty stern test of, and it may not turn out to be like that. So at the moment, I would think that I'd probably be looking possibly to have a bet in the Coral Cup, and I may have a bet in the bumper. But after today's two runners, I'm very, very loath to put anything up at the moment. It's I've always said that Cheltenham is really difficult. It does seem like I simply can't get away to a good start. I can't get a good start, and I've had to scramble a profit on the last day last season, on the Thursday the season before, and I just simply can't make a good start to the festival with my bets, even if they're anti-post or if I'm putting them up on the day. I can't seem to make a good start. I'm chasing again this season after being £80 down on day one. And not just £80 down on day one. I think that both horses have run absolute shockers, and that dents your confidence no matter how confident you are in your ability. When you have two runners like I've had today, it's really difficult to sort of pick up and go again and be confident about another horse. But I will be looking for bets overnight. They'll go up tomorrow morning, but no one should be backing my horses unless they fancy them. And I've always said that. I don't have a magic wand. I can't produce winners just when I want them. And I've always said all season during Cheltenham Chat that I could have a complete blowout. And I'm on my way with two bad losers today. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you're enjoying the festival so far. I mean, if you can't get excited about the win of Constitution Hill and not have a tear in your eye about Honeysuckle's win, even I didn't want her to run in that race, but it was still a very special thing to see her come into winners' enclosure, to see the thrill for the de Bromheads, who've had an absolutely horrendous year, and to see the reaction of Rachel Blackmore. It's been a very special day at the festival. It simply hasn't been a good financial day for me, and that's the most important thing on these videos. I want to put good bets up. If I'm going to lose, I want them to be at least there at the finish and unlucky. And to be honest, both bets blew out badly today. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day tomorrow at the festival. I'll be back to you with day three's preview tomorrow evening. Bye for now.